Hey everybody, it's Plastic Man, and what we're doing today is giving out some tips on changing a radiator in a 2010 Lexus ES 350. And some of you might think, well, this is kind of hard to do. And to tell you the truth, it is a little difficult, but as you can see here, I've actually already replaced the radiator. Here's the old one. All right. What you got to do here to change out the radiator, first of all, you got to drain the system, in which there is a coolant drain plug right down here. I don't know if you can see that. It's somewhere up there. Yeah. And then after you drain that, you start taking off these bolts here. There's one here, one here, one here, one here. There's one down there, all the way down at the bottom here. Can you see that? Right there. These are 10 millimeters. And then there's two horns here. A horn here, right here, and a horn here, in which those were 12 millimeter. I took those off. They're kind of hanging right here. You take those off. So after you take the horns off, then you can take these bolts off, like I said, up here. This part will come off. Once you get that off, or actually before you do that, you got to take this part off, which, as you see here, there's one bolt here and one bolt here, and then you just kind of move it back, like, you know, as far as you can. There's a connector right here that has to be removed. It's fairly easy. You just stick your screwdriver in over here on the right hand side, and you'll hear a little click, and then you can move it and pull it out. The top of the radiator hose right here, I haven't connected that one back yet. I put it right here. You take that off, well, before you pull the thing out, and obviously you got to take off the bottom radiator hose as well. There's a couple other connectors. This little one right here, if you can see that, I just had to press on this. This goes right here. See a little button there? You just press on that button. That thing pulls right out. Wow, look at how there's sand in my air intake there. That's wonderful. Okay, you want to undo that battery probably first. Be a good idea to do that. Let's see what else here. What other tips do I have here? The biggest tip that I have really is that if you're a little uneasy about doing this, it is not entirely that big of a deal. If you are not a complete idiot, obviously you're not. You found this video, which will help you. Once you do get this top part off, you'll have to, there's a 10 millimeter right here and a 10 millimeter right here on the condenser. There's also a 10 millimeter down there and down there. So you free up the condenser. We did not remove the condenser. We left the condenser there. And after you do that, you can start removing the fan here. So you got to take the fan out. All right, and to do that, all you're doing is, see this thing right here? I don't know if you can see that. Pressing these things together and then pushing it through, right? Press these things together and actually pull it out this way. It's already in there now, though, so that's not going to come out. But let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, there's two lines on the bottom of the radiator. Here, I'll show you on the one that I took out that you have to take off. Little clamps, little clamp, right? Take those off. That's the transmission cooler lines. So once you get those off, you can actually pull. Well, no. First you pull out the fan, and then you take those out. Yeah, get this fan out first, which it'll come right up. So here's a tip for you. This part right here, I had a hard time. I couldn't get it off, so I just left it there, and I had somebody, like kind of hold it like this while I pulled the fan out. So I didn't remove this. I just left it there. Screw it, whatever. It came out not too tough, and I didn't mess up any of the the coils or anything down there. So it's all good. So yeah, all I got to do now is hook up the top coolant line here. which is right here. I'll just put that baby back on there, kind of like so, and we will get my pliers and we'll come over here and, well, actually we're almost done here. So I'm going to actually end the video here because really all I'm going to do now is hook this back in here, hook that back in there, put these bolts back up here. As I said, there's two here, two here. I already put the 10 millimeter down there and the 10 millimeter down there and the 10 up here and a 10 up here underneath this thing. So we're looking pretty good.